Hello everyone, my name is CT and this is my South Carolina Georgia 2014 preview, and an interesting game we got this Saturday 3:30. I guess it's the first CBS game uh, at South Carolina William Bryce Stadium, and you got Georgia, who is 1-0, who actually had a bye week last week, so they had an extra week to prepare for this game. And South Carolina, who had a tough game against East Carolina, who, in all fairness, is supposed to be a pretty solid team, but man, it's not. If South Carolina was really planning on winning this game, I think they needed to win that game convincingly. Uh, but who knows? I actually think that South Carolina is going to play Georgia tougher than people think. It just seems to happen that way every time you you're counting a big time team out in the SEC and they're going into what's kind of a rivalry game, a SEC East divisional game. Now, let's talk about real quick that Texas A&M game and how that is going to be relevant in this game. They absolutely got shredded, their secondary, by Kenny Hill and the Texas A&M Aggies in their home stadium. So, and they're going to be tested in this game as well. But from what I heard, now I just heard this just about 10 minutes before I started recording this video, which is it's Tuesday night, about almost 11 o'clock. I heard that um, Malcolm Mitchell and um, who was the other one? A couple receivers are out for Georgia. Are supposed are not expected to play was the words that Mark Richt used, and I'm assuming that that's going to remain the case. Usually, when those stuff like that is said, it doesn't change. Um, so that could be big. That's a big plus for Georgia's or South Carolina's secondary because they were more than likely gonna get exposed again in this game. And South Carolina's defensive line has to form some type of pass rush. They're gonna have to send blitzes in this game if they're gonna stand any chance, and they're gonna have to have success doing it. And just pray that they don't get caught up in a screen to Todd Gurley or Keith Marshall, uh, because it's going to be a long day if that is the case. They're going to have to. I think uh, that South Carolina's defense can somewhat stop the run. I'm not convinced yet that they're completely horrible in all facets of the game on defense. So I haven't completely given up hope on this rush defense for South Carolina. They um, they they looked all right against East Carolina as far as stopping the run, but they man, Todd Gurley is in my opinion in the lead right now for the Heisman. He looked phenomenal against Clemson. I mean, he looked like a complete freak out there. Like, I know running backs don't get drafted too high these days in the NFL draft, but man, someone has to take a chance on Todd Gurley, at least in the first round, somewhere in the I'd draft that guy. I'm a Panthers fan. If for those of you who don't know, I would take this guy on our team in the first round in this coming draft for sure. Uh, but that's That's irrelevant. Um, let's talk a little bit about uh, Georgia's defense. They've looked they looked a lot better than they did last year against Clemson. First half, a little bit iffy. Second half, they really tightened things up, and they pitched the shutout in the second half uh, against Clemson. And now I don't think Clemson's a very good team this year, but I could be wrong about that. I wasn't high on them coming into this year. I thought Georgia would win that game fairly easy. I think they won by a little bit more than I expected, but um, yeah, Jeremy Pruitt has came in from Florida State, and that seemed to be the spark that they need. They've always had defense on, or have had talent on defense, but I think Jeremy Pruitt's going to get the best out of that. And um, South Carolina, man, they're going to have to run the ball, and by doing that, set up the play action pass, throwing to Demir Bird, and the tight ends, get the tight ends involved, and I think if they do that, uh, they have a chance in this game. They uh, Mike Davis. Has anyone else thought that as I watched them play, I didn't notice this against Texas A&M. He didn't get that many carries, but he looks like he's gained a lot of weight. Mike Davis looks very chubby right now, and I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't know if that's because of the little injury he had. He got kind of lazy, sitting on the couch all day playing video games and eating potato chips. I don't know what the deal was, but he looks a bit chubby, and that's not good because he had some speed last year and that power, that strength, and South Carolina fans or anyone in general, if you know anything about that, please comment. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe he just has some extra padding, or maybe I'm just imagining things and he's the same weight that he's always been. But man, just when you thought things were looking about as bad as they could for South Carolina, fucking star running backs, best player on their team, has a is overweight. I haven't heard anyone else talk about that, so uh, let me know what you all think about that. I'm interested to hear it, whether you're a Georgia fan or whatever you are. But they got to get him going, man. I mean, he's gonna have to be a stud if they want to get back in this SEC East race. Because right now it's looking like Georgia's running away with it, and Florida is nipping at their heels, I guess. But it could change in this game. If South Carolina wins this game, all the momentum goes back into South Carolina's favor. All they'll have to worry about is Florida at that point, and Florida has to go play Bama next Saturday, which will be a huge game, by the way, which I will preview. Um, so, what's going to happen in this game exactly, in my estimation? I think South Carolina is going to come out ready to play. I think that they're going to get a couple stops and maybe take an early lead, maybe get an early touchdown, maybe a big pass play to Demir Bird, or it's maybe Mike Davis can bust off a run. But the passing game is going to get going regardless of who's playing receiver for Georgia. And Hudson Mason will get the offense going, and I look for Todd Gurley to actually, I think they're going to kind of key in on Todd Gurley. I think that they're going to be focused on not letting him beat them. I think Spurrier will be okay with that. If they lose, it's not going to be because Todd Gurley, ran for 3 touchdowns and 200 yards. But Todd Gurley, I think it'll take him a little bit to get going. But I think ultimately it's going to be the passing game, even though the receivers, I think it was Malcolm Mitchell and was it Scott Wesley? I think that's who it was. Um, but yeah, I look for let's get a final. This video's already gone for 10 minutes, which is longer than I want for previews and recaps. Let's go uh, Georgia 38, South Carolina 28. And I give South Carolina a better chance in this game than I think most people are. But I think the line right now is 6. Look for that to go up. But maybe it won't because of the receivers being out. I don't know if how many people are aware of that. I haven't heard anything about it till just now. I haven't seen anything about it on TV. I was actually watching a YouTube video where someone said it. But yeah, this will be a good game. A lot better game than people think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I really don't. I hope it's not. I want to see a nice competitive game in Williams-Brice Stadium. You know, get the sandstorm going back up again, and a big time game for the SEC East race. And I got the Georgia Bulldogs defeating the South Carolina Gamecocks 38-28. And that's all I got for you. Good luck to you Georgia fans and South Carolina fans. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.